All right, so today we're going over tricep training mistakes. Now, I apologize in advance. I'm just getting over being sick, so my voice is a little bit raspy, but I really want to make this video because a lot of people commented in the last bicep training video and they said, good stuff, but what about for triceps? So here we are. And it's not as simple as just taking the concepts from biceps and using them on triceps. There's a little more to it than that. So let's get after it. The one concept between biceps and triceps is you got to up the reps. Notice I didn't say lighten the weight. I've seen a lot of people comment and say he just means lighten the weight, do more reps. I don't like that phrase. I think it gives people an excuse to half-ass their workout. When you do 15, 20, 30 reps, you should dread those sets a lot more than you do the 8 to 10 rep sets because it's just that much more pain. If you're really connecting to the muscle and hitting it the way you should, those 15, 20, 30 reps should just be excruciating. Another common mistake I see is people losing sight of what's important. They're not focused on actually getting the tricep to fail, they're focused on getting the weight down. So it doesn't matter if they're doing 20 reps or doing 10 reps, every time somebody gets close to that, the end of their set, I always see them sacrifice the actual form and the connection to the muscle to getting that weight down. And I think that's where people get it wrong. The biggest thing you should be is I'd rather you fail at the top of the movement, still engaging that tricep, than rather forcing it all the way down, using everything you have to finish the movement. That's not the growth. The growth is going to come from putting as much tension and stress onto that muscle as possible. Even if you're doing a partial rep by the end of it, that's better than forcing it down with every other muscle. Now this is for somebody who can't get that extension motion down without having all the secondary movers jump in, right? Whether you're going, your traps are jumping in, it's too much shoulders. I'm sure you've seen that at the gym, it could be yourself, where basically they're just doing a static hold with their triceps because everything else is moving. They're getting a lot of shoulder, it's pulling into their lats, but they're not getting that extension. They're just kind of stuck in the same spot. Don't be afraid to put your training wheels on. Get a bench like this, lay against it. You're gonna get more contraction out of that because you're gonna be locked into place and you're gonna have to be flexing over top of the elbow. Because for me, that's where the magic is. When you focus on every extension movement, actually flexing over your elbow and you're not focused on pushing things away, you're gonna get more growth. So you're probably saying you're doing a lot more extension work than presses. What about tips for presses? And be honest with you, I do mostly extensions. Even when I'm doing push-ups like these, I'll lean back and turn it into an extension. The reason I say that isn't just for me, it's for clients too, because the first time they come in the door, every time they do a tricep variation of a push-up, they don't even feel their triceps, right? It's all traps, it's shoulders. So as they're going down, their elbows are flared out and they think that's the way to connect with it. But most of the time, unless you're really advanced, that's a hard way to do it because you're gonna get those traps to contract, those shoulders are gonna pull up, and you're gonna feel everything in your neck and your traps, right? So the way we fix that, drop those elbows, tuck those elbows into your side, and really stretch all the way down to the ground. I'd rather you touch the ground and rest a second, and as you come up, you arch that back more than anything else. So if anything, your hips will stay an inch off the floor, your upper back drives back, and everything stays in that tricep like an extension. What I think is the most important part of any movement, whether it's a press or an extension, is that full stretch to that initial contraction. You get that right, you're golden. Now what I mean by that, use extensions for just an example here, is as you're coming up, if you feel like you're fully stretched, you're not. You got more to give, right? Flex those biceps and actually curl it in closer to you and exaggerate. The rope's actually gonna come towards you and it's not even gonna be in the same plane of motion. Pull it in towards you and then flex it out. And when I say flex, focus on flexing with your triceps. Don't move the weight, actually contract your tricep and pretend like you have no weight in your hand and you're just flexing down. That's gonna get more engagement, it's gonna get more growth. Now don't get me wrong, I still do partials at the bottom, I still do full range of motion, I do all sorts of different variations like that, but I want people to focus on that initial contraction because I think most people I've ever trained, they lose the contraction before they even start, right? Before they even get into those triceps, their traps are already engaged. So if you can get the initial contraction right, you're good. As always, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and don't be afraid to leave a comment below with the video you want me to do next. I know I've been getting a lot of ab videos, but it was just Thanksgiving and nobody wants to see that yet. So let me clean it up first and then we'll get into some ab stuff. So get after it, get growing. I'll talk to you soon.